As we know, Governor David Paterson is not running for election this November, and the race to replace him is intensifying. This morning, we focus on the Republicans. There are two candidates vying for the party's nomination. Former Congressman Rick Lazio joins us in the studio. For months, he was the sole candidate in the race, but his political life became a lot more complicated last week when the Suffolk County Executive Steve Levy announced that he was quitting the Democratic Party, becoming a Republican, and entering the race for governor. And although he may have just joined the GOP, that was good enough for Ed Cox, the Republican Party state chairman. The son-in-law of the late president, Richard Nixon, endorsed Levy on the spot when he announced his candidacy. However, Mr. Lazio scored some key support of his own this weekend. In the studio with him is Michael Long, the chairman of the Conservative Party. The party officially endorsed Mr. Lazio this past weekend. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Greg. Good to
be with you.
Congressman Lazio.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel betrayed by the Republican Party leadership? I mean, you've been a lifelong Republican.
Absolutely.
You worked for them in 2000. You ran a good campaign, a solid campaign against Hillary Clinton. Do you feel betrayed this morning by what they did, or did you feel betrayed last week?
You know, when you're in politics, you've got to stay focused on the people, on what they want, and not worry about what's going on, the side noise. When I talk about getting back after 10 years in the private sector and getting back in public life, I'm getting back because I think this state needs a turnaround, because I have got two teenage daughters and they deserve a better New York State than what we're getting right now, because people want lower spending, they want balanced budgets, they want lower taxes, they want to see jobs again. And that's far more important than what one or two or three political leaders are doing on the Republican side.
Michael Long, the very influential state party chairman of the Conservative Party. Why did you endorse, why did your party throw its support to Mr. Lazio?
Well, look, the Conservative Party, in all honesty, Craig, has been in the forefront on cutting taxes and reining back the spending that has put us in the mess that we're in here in New York State. Congressman Lazio has always been in the forefront of controlling spending and cutting taxes, never putting the burden of new taxation on people. That's why we went with him. He's one of us, and he's a guy who will stick to that commitment.
Mr. Lazio, you have a pledge today you want to announce?
Yeah, absolutely. Today I'm going to be taking a pledge that I will oppose or veto any effort to increase taxes at the state level. You know, Greg, we have lost 500,000 private sector jobs in the last year alone.
Congressman Lazio, we've heard incoming office holders say this before. You know, George Herbert Walker Bush, no new taxes, read my lips.
People should look at my record as a county legislator, as a member of Congress. I have never, ever voted for a tax increase, always voted to reduce taxes. What this state needs is to restart growth and get jobs, and the only way you do that is to drive down taxes for the state that pays the highest state and local taxes in the nation.
Mr. Long, the conservatives I meet, when I listen to Hannity, as I do on occasion, you know, they're ideological purists, and many rather lose an election with the right candidate than win with the wrong candidate. It's about principle. And I know you would like to win with Mr. Lazio, but would you rather lose with Mr. Lazio than, say, win with a Republican Steve Levy?
No, wait, look, I don't endorse candidates to lose. We endorse candidates to win. I think Rick Lazio is the right combination for New York at this time, this place. We need the leadership that he can provide. We need the commitment of no new taxes that he will fulfill for the future of New York.
Congressman Lazio, you look confident. But for months now, the campaign, according to those who watch it on a daily basis, has been languishing. From the New York Times right here, several New York Republican county chairmen who hold significant sway over how rank-and-file party delegates will vote at the Republican convention this summer have decided to abandon Mr. Lazio, or they are considering it. Though he has been the presumptive Republican nominee for months, Mr. Lazio's campaign has failed to catch fire, even in his own party. His public events are sparsely attended. He has raised only $640,000.
Yeah. First of all, we raised more than that. Number two, if you look at the poll that came out this week, the Siena College poll, we have over a 3-to-1 lead over Steve Levy. So in terms
there
of
it is,
ranking,
right there. Yeah, you beat him handily. Well, actually, but with the poll we have right here is Mario Cuomo beats you. Big time. I'm sorry, Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo beats him.
Andrew Cuomo is an incumbent. Andrew Cuomo is in the press every single week. And right now, if you look at some of these polling data versus Cuomo, it's going to be name recognition.
And
by the way, you look at Chris Christie or you look at Scott Brown in Massachusetts, they came from deficits and came back and won. People don't want what we're getting. They don't want the resignation. They don't want the excessive spending. They don't want the budgets out of balance. They don't want to pass on the problems to the next generation. They don't want the taxes. They're leaving in droves. People people, businesses,
We're out of time.
tax base.
Thank you very much, Congressman Lazio, former Congressman Lazio. Michael Long from the Conservative Party. We'll have you back. And